Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for the first track guide of season 19 for the V8 veterans from Sebring. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So the first round of the V8 veterans for season 19, as I said, from Sebring. So I've used the setup that Matt Vanderkrans shared in the hosted session the other night. I think it was last week, I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm using that one. It was a 51.8% brake bias. It was standard. I'm running a 52.8, 52.5% brake bias. So just a little bit further forward. It had 70 liters of fuel in it, and I did this lap, first lap out after my outlap. So 2 minute, just over 2 minute flat, so 2 minute 0.15. Pretty happy with that one. Definitely reckon you could knock a bit more time off that. I think I could possibly knock another tenth off, but the quick guys will definitely go into the 159s, I reckon. But yeah, we just got to see what the old setup's like for the first round when Jamie brings it out. But hopefully it's similar to this. So yeah, 52.5. First lap out, 70 liters of fuel. I think that's basically all I had to tell you. So coming into the first corner here, guys. All the way over to the right. You want to stick to the right, all the way up into sixth gear. So I go right about there. That's my brake marker. I look for that yellow line. Once I hit the end of the yellow line from the cockpit view, off the accelerator, on the brakes quite hard. Back to fifth, back to fourth. And you want to take the apex, try to get right around the corner coming over to the wall. So you don't want to, so the wall's here, you don't want to come in nice and early and be hitting the wall. You want to get right around just so you can washing off your speed as you're trailing in and getting right around in that first corner. I'll just sort of try to show you here. As you can see, sort of really getting that really late, sort of coming right wide. You don't want to, so I'm trying to hang it out here as far as I can to set up the exit. I was coming across about here. I think you can see that. Yep. I was coming across here where the mouse was, and it was taking time off, but then it sacrifices speed, obviously, on your exit. So what I've done, yeah, just getting back through the gears, back to fourth, and then just getting a really late apex as far as I can. Coming into this first corner in fourth, so you're trailing off, you're on the brakes and you're just trailing off, trailing off, trailing off. As you can see just here in the top left, there's that little witch's hat. I look for that every single time. So I'll come around, I'm trying to hit as close as I can to this wall before, pretty much just before that witch's hat. And then I see that one, and about half a car length to a car length, once I see it disappear out of the frame, I get back on the gas and just gradually accelerating. Don't stomp your foot down, just accelerating quite gently out of, or not gently, but smoothly out of the corner, just so you're not getting any wheel spin. You will get wheel spin out of here, and quite easy to go wide on this one. So just keep that one in mind, guys. So I'll just drop it through in real time, all the way back to fourth, coming over to the wall as tight as you can, looking for that witch's hat, and then just getting on the gas as hard as you can out of there. See, as you can see, the Arsene wants to tweak out. So for the second corner, I'm sort of basically, I was trying to push it to the end of this little off-road here. So I'd brake about here at the end of the off-road, but I'm looking for this one here where the pavement changes colors, pretty much right in the middle there. That's my brake marker. So from fifth all the way back down to second. This one's a bit tricky. It doesn't just gradually go around the corner like that. It comes around flat and then comes around again. Um, so what I'm trying to do, where it comes around and it goes flat, I'm trying to brake in a straight line here and then bring the car around on that same angle as what that flat part is in the corner, and then coming around and hitting mid to late apex on the end of that corner, if that makes sense. I'll show you what it looks like in real time. See, it goes like flat there. It's sort of hard to see, but you're trying to keep it on that same angle. But yeah, coming in, braking in a straight line, pretty much here. Don't keep it right out here. I've tried to keep it out wide, but I'm just losing too much time. You don't get the speed out here that you want because the RSM wants to come around too much. So basically, I'm just going about mid-track in a straight line, coming across. It's just there. You can see the corner comes around, starts turning here, but it goes more flat just here, and then it comes around again. So I'm basically just trying to set up the car to on this angle of where the corner is. So coming in, trailing off, setting up that angle, and then trying to get the car around. This is the apex I'm sort of heading for. This is the part, this is what I call my apex. So you're trying to get a sort of more mid, coming right around, getting that mid apex, and then just getting a good run out of here. As you'll see, I run it through, try to get that angle, and then coming across. It could have come across a little bit tighter there, as you could have seen. Coming out of there, just watch the arse end. As I said, it wants to sort of kick out and, yeah, lose it a few times. Going to put up a little short later of where I was coming through here, like pushing it quite hard, and the arse end's it's just drifting the whole way through there. But obviously not as quick as, yeah, getting all your grip. So coming up to the third corner here, once again, it's a weird looking corner. Basically, all I can say is, yeah, just heading for the mid part of the track. Basically where it changes colors there, just after where it changes colors, you can start coming in, trailing off your brakes, trying to get that late apex over as tight as you can. I think I went a little bit wide on this one. Come through, holding second, as you can hear there. Oh no, it's not too bad. Yep. So yeah, coming out of the second corner, all the way over here on the right, you can hit the curb. Just be careful; it might want to kick your ass end out. Staying as far as you can over to the right here, and then aiming more for mid track. Once you're halfway, like through that corner, about halfway through the corner, you're aiming for about here. So all the way over to the right, aiming through here. Don't keep it out here. Aiming through there, and then trailing off and coming over to the curb as tight as you can at the end of the corner, and then just accelerating out. Watch coming out of there. It just wants to kick the arse in quite easily. So another thing to keep an eye on. Holding second. I'll go right back through just so you can hear it. It's coming out here in second and just holding second. Aiming for that mid part of the track, coming across, hitting your curb, and then just accelerating out as hard as you can. Just trying to run wide there, quite easy to do. Coming through here, quite straightforward. Don't really have to explain that bit. So coming down to this hairpin can be a little bit tricky. So there's always that shadow there, but I've been always told don't go by the shadows because they change. I'm not sure how much the weather or the time of day is. I know it's 1x, but I don't know how much it'll move during the race. But what I look for is this part of the track, so where it goes from the light bitumen to the dark. About half a car length, just before that. You can push it to that bitumen, but it's really quick through the gears. But once again, with these high speed, from high speed down to low speed hairpins, you want to get on the brakes quite significantly before you start shifting down, or it feels like it's quite significant. So you're banging it through here at in sixth gear at 260 Ks, you want to off the accelerator, on the brakes, shift, 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 shift. So you don't want to go off back on, like off on the brakes. As soon as you're hitting those brakes, you don't want to be going down the gears, because your rev range is, it's just your revs are too high for that next gear down. So it'll want a compression and want to hold it up, which I've pretty much told everyone in the past, but for anyone new to the channel, that's basically how I'll do it. So I'll just run it through here in real time so you can hear it. So you can hear that real on the brakes, then shifting down. So coming into this one, I'm all the way back down to first. I've really tried to hold second, but because I pushed the brake marker quite, well, it's probably not that far, but for me, I'm pushing the brake marker quite late. So I'm trying to get all my braking once again done in a straight line, shifting in a straight line, going down to first, before you're hitting the corner and then trailing off into the corner. And as you'll see here, like instead of coming in this way or here, you want to get right around it. So trailing right off, coming in really late apex and then getting a good run out of it. I do short shift, so I'll come down all the way back down to first, come around, get that late apex, get back on the gas just slightly, and then short shift second, just to get a good run out of there. So you get the best acceleration, you're not really losing the arse end. I'll just show you through so you can see the whole corner. Back down to first, so getting that really late apex there, and then just short shifting that second, getting a boot out of there. Coming through here is pretty straightforward. So you got the, I suppose you call it a left, pretty much going straight, but don't hit these curbs. You can hit them, but just watch the arse end, because it'll just start lighting up and losing the arse end, and yeah, just losing all sorts of time. So just keep it in mind that these might, yeah, if you come out of there a bit wide, you'll tend to want to cut these, but it'll, yeah, really shoot the arse end out. So just watch that one. That one, next one's not too bad, but just these two really kick the arse end right out. As I said, straightforward coming through here. I try to get a later, if it really matters, get a later sort of apex on each corner. And then coming up to this next one, you really want to, or coming through that one, you really want to stick over to the left here just to set this next one up. As you'll hear here, I'll just go back a little bit. I'm holding fifth all the way through here. I don't hit sixth. And then I'm looking for my brake marker. So those 4 witches hats on the left, about a car length before. I do, you can push it right up to there if you need to, under brake, something like that, doing a pass up the inside. But yeah, for the time and for me to get the corner set up for this next right-hander, I'll go about a car length before those witches hats. From fifth all the way back down to second. And then I'll just show you in real time first. So really on the rev limiter there, back down to second, trying to get as late over apex as I can. So I was setting that corner up and coming in and really trying to come in really late, just so I'd come around here, more on the right here to set up this bit. But for this one, and what I've noticed, you can sort of come through, but keep it more mid-track. But I straight line it straight for this part, and then keep it as tight as I can. So trying to get a later sort of turn into this little chicane, this little curve here. But yeah, I don't hang it out here. I was losing too much time, I think. So I was just sort of, I come around, try to get more of a later apex into this right-hander, but then just straight line it for this bit here, and then keep it nice and tight through the left-handers there. As you'll see, I'll chuck it through in real time. Nice late one there, and they're just straight lining it, as you can see there, getting around the corner, but really just getting around, get the car completely turned, get back on the gas, but then heading there. I don't come back out to the right and then come back around. It sort of wants to lose the arse end because you're really accelerating through this part, trying to get the best run out of that last right-hander. So yeah, that's how I do it. Straight line it straight for that little left-hand bit. I'll show you through here in real time. So coming out of here, hard as you can. Just nicking that curb, just nicking this curb, and then I'll short shift fourth. Didn't quite hear it there. But yeah, coming through here, I'll come through this little left-hander as tight as I can, and then once you're pretty much hitting the curb, I'll short shift fourth, just to get a good run out. But it doesn't, so if you hold third, you're in the higher rev range in third gear. So I'll shift fourth, so it's in the lower rev range. It just gives you more traction. You just don't, it will lose the RSM, but it won't do it as easy as what it will in third. So just keep that one in mind there, guys. So coming through here, as you'll see here, short shift fourth, really giving it a boot out of there. You can come all the way across here and then more straight line the braking for there, because I look for that probably just about half car length before the end of that curb is where I start turning into this right-hander. As I said, if you're over here to the right, you can straight line it for here and then turn in, but then your car's, so the corner's over here, your car's on this angle, you want it more on this angle. So the more you can get your car turned into the corner before you turn into the corner, it's going to be more beneficial. So if you're aiming away from the corner, you got to come all the way around, get your car turned right in, and then get, yeah, through the corner and accelerate out. This way, if you come around, get your car at least parallel with this curb on the left, it'll set you up a little bit better for this right-hander. So this one's another one. It comes around, starts turning like a dog leg, and then it just goes really hard. So obviously that really hard part at the end, that's the part you're looking to go as close to the curb as you can. So hitting your apex there. I'll go you through it in real time here, guys. So really getting that car straightened up, and then, yeah, well, it's almost a car length before the end of that curb on the left there. Oh shit, it's quite a fair bit. When I'm looking from the cockpit view, obviously, like, your point of view is sort of out here, so I can see about this much of the curb. So yeah, maybe that's something else to look at when you're in the cockpit view. Once you see about a car length on the end of that curb, that's when I start turning in. That's my turning point. You could probably hold this a little bit longer. I think I have come in a little bit early here. That's probably something to look at, but it was a little bit quicker than the rest of my runs throughout the day. So yeah, this is probably something you could probably break more in a straight line, maybe a little bit earlier, and then get a later apex to set this one up, because it is quite a high speed section through this next left. So something to maybe keep in mind here, but this is my line at the moment through here. So yeah, getting the car parallel, trailing off the brakes, hitting that really tight part of the apex. Just watch out of there once again. Really easy to lose the RSN, really wants to kick out because you're in the higher rev range of second gear. So it really wants to kick out. Coming out of there, coming back over to the right-hand side of the track for the next one here. So all the way over to the right here. I don't get off the gas here. I'm just flat stick all the way through here, but you have to really set up the line properly. Otherwise it'll want to kick out. And plus, probably later on in the race, once your tires start coming off a little bit, it'll want to lose the RSN, so you might have to back off a little bit. But for the quali run, I'll be flat stick through here. So I try to drop my right tires up on this curve just to get as wide of an entry as I can getting into this one. And then I'll sort of keep my left-hand tires at the edge there. I was cutting it quite a bit, but I've noticed if you keep out here, it comes through and you're out wider, so you can bring it in a little bit. It doesn't want to keep drifting the car out and keep wider entrance into this next right-hander. You can get all the way through here, flat stick, and then be all the way over to the left-hand side of the track to set up the next right-hander. But it's just something to work on. I did the old sectional thing on iRacing again just to set this bit up and figure it out. But I'll show you through in real time. We're all the way over there on the right. A little bit wide there, as you can see, but then it brings it back nice and tight for that next left-hander. Yeah, so that's how I'll set that one up. I want to get all the way over here to the left-hand side. I'll just get a little bit closer for this next right-hander. So this one is very tricky. I've gone through here in a whole bunch of different ways, but what I've settled on at the moment sort of is working for me the quickest. I'll keep an eye out. This is my brake marker here. You can push it towards the hats, but it sort of wants to understeer. It wants to really push the front end out into this next right-hander. And I want to stay as tight as I can on that right-hand curb. I even drop the tires inside the curb just to knock off as much time as I can. But anyway, coming through here in fifth gear, looking for the end of the curb here on the left. Back to third, so back to fourth, back to third. But once again, keeping your car parallel with the left-hand side of the track. You want that in a nice straight line on the brakes, back through the gears. So this is one that you can't really hold the brakes first and then back through the gears. You really got to get on the brakes quite hard, back through the gears, set the corner up, and then, yeah, try to get as late of an apex as you can, but still sticking really tight to the right-hand side and even taking a chunk. You take quite a big chunk out of this section of the curbs without getting a penalty. But just keep I think you can go a little bit further. Like, you can actually drop your tires on this right-hand curb. You can drop your left tires up on the curb. You still won't get a penalty, but I just try to keep. I'll show you through here. Yeah, I'll go through it in real time. I'll stop talking. It never works. So you can see there. So if I go back through here, that's where I'm trying to keep my tires. I'm just trying to keep them pretty much right on the left side of that curb. Don't drop it any further inside. as you might sort of risk a bit of a penalty. But yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. So anyway, in a straight line from fifth all the way back down to third, and then trailing off into the corner, really trying to hug that curb, get as much as you can. But you still want to sort of try to stay in the middle of the track. Don't drift right out here too much. But yeah, I try to keep it coming around mid to just over where I am there. And then I straight line it for this one. And once again, just keeping your right-hand tires on the right-hand side of the curb. And you can drop your left ones right over, which will set up this next one onto the back straight for a nice little run. So keeping it nice and tight on this one, as you can see there. Just watch it. It will kick, but you just got to, yeah, sort of, it's like Sandown. You just, when you kick it, you got to be off the brakes. You got to be just accelerating a little bit just to keep the car steady. So yeah, nice and tight on this one. I look for the end of this curb, really trying to get to the end of the curb with my right-hand tires just inside there, but then popping it out just a little bit outside the left-hand side of the track, so more out here, just to set up this next right-hander, which is pretty much like the last right-hander that we've just been through. So coming through nice and tight there, dropping it out, and then I come in quite early. It's quite an early apex, but you come in, keep it really tight on this curb. As you can see, I've dropped the right-hand tires inside the curb, but make sure the car, I can't stress it enough, make sure the car is completely around and sort of almost parallel with this straight, like this, the left side of the track before you start accelerating. Because coming out of this one, you're at quite high speed. So you come out, you really want to get the car turned because it starts to drift as you start really getting on the gas. It just starts doing these ones. As you'll see here, I come right out and just miss the grass here, like powering out. But I'll just go through it in real time just so you can see the whole thing. Then we'll talk at the end of the straight, which is a pain in the ass corner. So really tight through here, straight line it really tight for there, out to the left, coming in a little bit early, really tight on this one, and then just booting it. You can see it's not quite parallel, but as straight as I can get it. And as you saw, almost hitting the grass there, I didn't get a penalty, so that was good. So come out to this last one. This is probably the hardest, I would say for myself, this would be one of the hardest corners in any track that I've raced. Like, I don't even include this in the dipper. Like the dipper through Bathurst is pretty hard, but this is, I know this one's just, it's a weird bloody corner. But anyway, this is another one I set up the sectional part of iRacing. Just to, yeah, I basically set up here, came into this corner and just went through it, probably 50 times, just trying to figure out is tight quicker, is what keeping it wide and then getting a good run out quicker, keeping it in the middle quicker. What I've sort of come to so far is keeping it nice and tight. So it's just getting around this first part of the wall, which is like probably one of the harder bits, this bit of the wall. My brake marker is right dead center in the middle of the 3 and the 4 witches hats. So right there, I'll get off the accelerator, as you can see there. I'll go back to 5th here, there, and then by about the wall, I'm back to 4th, and then just after the wall, I go back down to 3rd, probably just a fair bit, but as you'll see here, back to 4th, just after the wall, back to 3rd. So that keeps you, a lot of guys are coming out here along to the white line and then trying to really set up that really good run out. But I've noticed because the car's already tipped over on this line, you're coming around the whole thing on that sort of a line. So you're right on the edge of the grip limit of the car and the arse end wanting to kick out. So basically it's just coming past that wall, setting up your line, getting all your braking done sort of in this sort of a line, and just make sure you're at the right speed by the time you hit here, and then getting back on the gas just gradually, but you want to keep it. So this is another one. It comes around that first bit of the wall, comes around like this, comes around, and then, so it's sort of like, this is the exit, this is the entrance, and then it comes like this. It's really weird, but yeah, so I'll come through here, get all my braking done. As you can see, tipping in this little part here, this little yellow line here, I sort of look for that as like an imaginary sort of apex. I'll go, okay, that's what I want to hit. So about half car length out from that. And I'm accelerating off, I'm on the brakes there and just starting to trail off, and then coming around, and then there's that other curb here on the right. So trying to keep it nice and tight to that wall so it comes around, gets tight again. And then as you come around, you got this, it's not even a curb there, but yeah, just a witch's hatch, which you really want to keep it nice and tight. So coming into the entrance for the pits is really going to be, I think they even said it in the chat for the V8 bets, is you have to set up a pitting in button or do it over the comms pitting in, just so that everyone knows. Because if you're through here, someone's even booting up the inside. You could probably, someone might drift wide here, so someone's going up the inside, and you want to pit in. All sorts of bloody trouble's going to happen there. So just keep that one in mind, guys. But yeah, coming around the corner, I've sort of tried to keep it more tight. And then getting around to here, once I get around to about, you're getting back on the gas, as you can see, I'm off the brakes there, but keeping it as tight as I can, but getting back on the gas as hard as I can. As everyone will probably know, coming through pretty much from here, or pretty much through this whole last part of the corner and then out and onto the straight, and definitely the straight, it's just bumpy as hell. So coming around here, you're trying to get on the gas, but it's, you're bumping and just wanting to kick the arse end around. And so just keep it in mind that, yeah, it is rough. It is a tight, pretty much right on the grip limit coming around this one. But just trying to get on the gas as hard as you can, using all the track, keeping it nice and tight. I get to about here, and then just, yeah, keep it tight, and then just accelerating out as hard as you can, using all the track right over to the left-hand side wall. As you'll see there, really trying to get on the gas. Just watch that little bit that sticks out there on the straight. You don't want to come around there and give that a whack, otherwise it'll really probably ruin your race. But that's another track guide from my sort of perspective, guys. Hope you got something out of it. And once again, I'll probably just see you on the race on Thursday. But enjoy. Can't wait for this season, and can't wait to race against all you guys. Cheers.